Hello, Mr. Fry's Algebra 2, looking at this Chapter 5 quiz. You're going to want to use Desmos for this. It's going to help you tremendously on this Chapter 5 quiz. Today is March 23rd, and let's get started. So, for the given polynomial, so take this polynomial and enter it in Desmos. And you could pause this and use mine, or just do it yourself and get in there, and then you don't have to pause it so much because it's going to be kind of hard to see on my screen. But when you plug it in, you could use this pad here. And so when you type in x to the fourth power, to get it to go to the fourth power, in case you're having difficulty, you're going to use shift and the up button, and then press 4 to get it to fourth power. And then right after the 4, you're going to have to come right back up here and right behind the 4 to get it not to be up in the exponents anymore. You're going to want to click right there, and then you're going to type in the minus. And then you'll do the 3x. And then to get it to the third power, you're going to want to use, once again, the shift, the up button, and 3, and that will put it up there. And then you're going to want to go ahead and click on it so that the cursor goes right after that 3. And then when you get to minus 2x squared, your x squared, you could just hit x and then hit the square button. I guess the other thing you could do is this, and that you could fill in the b there for that 4 and that 3 to the fourth and the third power. Okay, so just, however you get it in there, just some tips on how to get it in there. Hopefully that makes it easier for you. Okay, so once it's in, we got all the information, and it is, and then you pull this keyboard down, and then you have, once you click on it, it's going to have all these points that are going to be very helpful to you, because those are all answers to questions. Okay, so it says to classify the polynomial. Well, one thing in your notes, and if you could look at my notes, I know they might be a little bit sloppy, but I was writing fast in class the other day. Classify by the number of terms. Well, 4 plus, there, 4 is a polynomial, so we already have it listed as a polynomial, so we don't have to do that kind of classification. Kind of classification is going to be by degree. Okay, so by degree, we have degree of x, so to the fourth power, so you're going to want that one right there, okay, for it to the fourth power. Being a test, you should have this in your notes. You could use my notes. I don't want to tell you what the answer is, though. Classify by a number of terms. Once again, the number of terms for it's already polynomial. So there's 4 terms here. We actually have 5 terms. So 4 or above, it's polynomial. So we already have it labeled as a polynomial. We just have to go to the degree. So that 4, that's going to tell you what to write there for A. Okay, B, identify the turning points of the polynomial. Remember, turning points are where it just changes direction. So here's a turning point, and on your Desmos, you can probably get that better, but you could pause and freeze it and just take it off of mine if you like. Here's a turning point, and here's a turning point down here. Okay? Those are the turning points. Describe the end behavior of the polynomial. Remember end behavior from our notes. This one had end behavior that's as x went towards negative infinity, y, it went to positive infinity, okay, for this example here. So, and then as x went to positive infinity this way, because it keeps getting broader and broader and broader as you go up the graph. So it's going, to the right on the x-axis. So as x is gaining positive infinity, what is y doing? Well, in this one, sorry, y is also gaining positive infinity. It's going up and up and up. So what's this one doing? looks like about the same thing as I just explained. This looks a lot like the example in your notes. Okay, so you might want to rewind that and take a look at that to describe the end behavior of that polynomial. List the relative and maximum minimum. So the relative maximum and the relative minimum. So when you're doing maximums and minimums, just trying to take a look at some notes here from to give you an example. The relative maximum is going to be, where it goes back up. So, I might as well just show you on this one. So it goes up here. So that's, the highest it goes in this little function. And then the relative minimum is going to be down here when you're looking at those points. Okay. Intervals of increase. So your intervals of increase, are going to be those points at which it is increasing. So from point to point where it's increasing. So from this point to this point, it increases. So you might want to just use your x value. So just the x value in this coordinate. And when it's greater than that x value, but less than this x value, find the x value and put x in between. Okay, so x is greater than this x and less than that x value. It is increasing. Okay. Then it goes down again. And then from this point, the x value, when x is greater than that x value, it is increasing. So you just have to put x is greater than that value for increasing. Okay, now that is E. Now go to F, intervals of decrease. When x is less than this x value, so make sure you're just using the x value only. When x is less than that, it is decreasing. And then when x is greater than this value for x, but less than this value for x, it is decreasing. So when it's greater than this x value and less than this value, so in between here is what I'm saying. And you could use words if you like. You could use words. You could say in between this x value and this x value, it is decreasing. That's going to be your intervals of decrease. And last but not least, here's a gimme, the domain and the range, all real numbers for both. All real numbers for the domain, all real numbers for the range. Well, actually, the domain and the range is going to be less than, on this one, because it goes back up. So all real numbers for the domain, because it actually keeps broadening out. So the domain are x values. So as you go like way up into the millions or whatever, it's going to be broad and broad. It's just going to keep going broader and broader. So it's going to cover all x values. So the domain will be all real numbers. The range is going to be y is going to be greater than or equal to this y value right here. This y value right here. Okay. All right. Hopefully this helps, and good luck with the test. Quiz, actually. Good luck with the quiz.